Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 5 Veersamid levels, so in this part, I'll be covering 4 Veersamid levels from the same Fortress series, that being Mabricks Tower Challenge by ThatValvePersonMabrick, aka Marinekriegs, aka Cynical AI and Mabrick. I've been saving up this series of levels for quite a while, so I'll be completing all 4 of them in this part. In addition to that, the level designer submitted to me a graphical mod as well as several musical mods. So for the first minute or so for every level, I will be silent so you can hear the level music. So starting off with part 1, The Entrance, with 20 plays and a score of 3. Is that a split pathway? Let me take a look. I see, for an extra E-tank. Let's go for it then. You can only afford to miss 1 or 2 shots though. Still not that difficult. All of this looks to be doable Buster only, but it's a lot easier to use special weapons. I can already see the graphical mods in the background. The background is darker here. Not to mention that the color of the windmills in the background is different as well. This is certainly different as well. I don't remember there being flaming clouds in the background, in any one of the backgrounds. I wonder what the original background was before it was edited. Not taking any chances, I want some refills. Those are some neat enemy setups. It definitely feels like a traditional Wily Fortress stage. All of it's doable buster only, but using special weapons makes it much easier, especially with the Crash Bomb and Jet Adapter here. I spy a secret. My bad. Let's try it again. There we have it. More spikes. And there's our edited Wily logo, replaced with the Mabrick logo. Nice touch. The M could be drawn a bit better though. Nightman, and I see we can potentially insta-give him though. Not like that. Still, that's good enough. Overall, a pretty good introductory Fortress level. For this series of Fortress levels, not only will I individually review the stages, but I'll review all the stages as a whole, as an entire Wily Fortress. Too bad my E&M tanks don't carry over between stages, like in a custom version of the Wily Challenge mode. That'd be nice to have. So part 2 with 10 plays and a score of 2. Part 2 takes place in the mainframe. So we're gonna crash Wily's computer systems now. So almost everything is blue here. Too bad the enemies have not been recolored. So you are forced to use special weapons here, specifically the Jet Adapter. I don't mind it though, as it's a Fortress level. And it starts off relatively easy, in case you never used the Jet Adapter. When I say relatively easy, I mean not over a bottomless pit. introducing the jet bombs first in a safe enough environment, then quickly placing them over bottomless pits. Nice way of quickly reintroducing this gimmick. That's the easy way of doing it, but you can do it potentially without using a jet adapter, although it's a lot harder, doing it buster only. A lot more risky, I mean. Whereas the previous stage was a lot more open, this one is a lot more enclosed. It makes sense as we're in a mainframe, Dr. Y's computer systems, or perhaps Dr. Mabrick's computer systems, I mean. This is Mabrick's tower after all. And whereas the previous stage focused more on bottomless pits, this one has a lot more spike content. Would have liked if these backgrounds with the pitch black ones had something more unique. Now we have water. I guess these are the cooling systems and the coolant tanks. Should have known, I should have swapped over to the jet adapter. That was my bad. Only about a minute's walk back though, so not much of a loss. This stage really wants me to use a jet adapter anyway, so I have only myself to blame for that. It's basically a spike drop segment, or rather a spike navigation segment. I also like how the pukers are used for something else other than oil fire segments. This stage also feels longer than the previous one. Thankfully, there are more checkpoints as well. Oh, not quite there. I started a bit too early. The checkpoint was only one screen away, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Getting that pickup ate my jump input. I wish there was an option to disable that pause. We're back to where we were. That wasn't too bad. Time for the next boss battle. This was certainly a step up in difficulty in comparison to part 1, that's for sure, especially near the end, but it was still fun. So nice escalation of challenges between the stages. Skullman. Of course, it makes sense that Skullman's weakness is the water wave, as it washes away his projectiles. Overall, I like the aesthetics of this stage more than the previous one. A nice step in difficulty, and nice difficulty curve, and nice reintroduction of gimmicks in case players forgot about them. On to part 3, the Observatory, with 6 plays and a score of 2. Let's see what this musical track is going to be. The previous one was Mega Man 10's Wily 2, I think. I think this is a remixed version of Mega Man 5's Wily Fortress theme, because I've heard this before. Would have preferred if there was actually a background. But I guess there's no background to make you focus. For a stage labeled Observatory, I don't see that much outside. That may change later though. Better safe than sorry. I learned my lesson in the last stage. Now we're introducing the Yafus. Prepare for some pushing and pulling shenanigans. I think I can make this jump by doing slide jumps, but I won't risk it. I will need the fans later, I'm sure of it. Now we have the pop-up attackers. Good checkpoint placement. These tops are trying to juke me a lot. I knew there was something here. Now I just need to make it back alive to that checkpoint. And I understand why there's a checkpoint just before this segment and after it, because that segment can be quite challenging with all those spikes and the sudden jumping. Now I can see outside in space. Now everything's frosted over though, probably because we're in low orbit. The plant barrier works wonderfully against them though. Didn't start it fast enough, apparently. You need to start up the jet adapter quite quickly in that segment. No thanks, I won't risk anything with these ice physics. Knew the dev would pull off that trick. They did so earlier. Hey, Yoshiki. I'll take that gladly, thank you very much. Respawning enemies. That's the end of the third level, the observatory. I say it was a bit easier than part 2. Then again, in a lot of Wily Fortress levels, part 3 or level 3 is easier than level 2. Kind of a breeder level. It got a bit harder with the ice physics segment though, but the ice physics segment wasn't that long anyway, so it wasn't too bad. This boss battle though, I could foresee this becoming a huge problem if you're doing this buster only because he can push you and pull you in. So fourth and final level to part is part 4 with 18 plays and a score of 1. Specifically, we are going to the reactor. We're going to blow up the reactor to destroy Dr. Mabrick's tower. And it seems that we have a lot more special weapons to acquire along the way, compared to the previous 3 stages. So this is where the boss rematch room would be, but because we can't have multiple bosses without finishing a level, this is probably going to be a bit different. We need to complete at least 3 of them, but I'll go for completing all 5 of them, for completion's sake. That's probably why the loading time was the longest out of the 4 stages. Oh rats, I did this the wrong way. Let's try this again. I thought that was the harder route, the upper one, but the lower one's actually the harder one. I want to acquire all those optional special weapons, just in case. That wasn't too bad. In fact, I say it was easier than the upper segment. That's section 1 of 5 done. On to the second one. That was the water one, this is the ice one. This setup reminds me of a previous level. Oh, wait a minute, I think all of these are remixes or remastered versions / mini versions of Mabrick's previous stages. Now it makes sense. Because I remember these jumping challenges from the past, and how much trouble I had. Yeah, I remember this level structure exactly, though it's half as long. 2 down, 3 to go. In a way, it reminds me of the leading up sections to the Roadmaster rematches in Mega Man Unlimited, though a lot easier. That went by very fast. I think I'm missing a special weapon from the previous 2 sections. There are slots for 4 more of them after all. Oh well. Number 4. I remember this segment as well. All of these are nice callbacks to Mabrick's previous levels, so I do approve. This was the ladder grabbing segment of the stage, but it's rather trivialized by using the jet adapter. Skull barrier, that'll be helpful for spikes. Now on to the 5th and final section. Is there something down over there? I won't take the risk. This was one of Mabrick's mountain levels. I don't remember the exact name. The special weapon is probably down over there, knowing my luck. Yeah, there it is. Let's go back then. That means I'm missing 2 special weapons. Probably in those 2 segments where I didn't collect special weapons, I overlooked them. There's our charge kick. We're missing either 2 or 3 special weapons. At least I think I'm missing 2 or 3. I may be misremembering. Here's the super adapter for completing 2 more sections, so we are well rewarded. I don't need the Ishiki, I'm fine. No jet adapter here though, so good thing I have the super adapter's double jump. It's not as useful as the flight capabilities of the jet adapter, but it works out enough. Rather ominous walk to the right, with a blank background. Time to face Metal Man as our final boss. Out of all enemies that could have been the final boss, this is one of the easier ones. Let me try finishing him off with the super adapter. That was the end of the Tower of Mabrick, or rather Mabrick's Tower of Challenge. One of the better series of levels by ThatValvePersonMabrick, aka Marinekriegs, aka Cynical AI and Mabrick. In fact, I dare say that Part 1 and Part 2 are some of the best levels that they made. This was a nice level, but I say that it's tied with Level 3 as being my least favorite out of the 4. It's not a bad level, I say it's decent to above average. I just like Level 1 and Level 2 a lot more. But I found it brilliant to make this a reactor of memories, where each of the 5 mini-segments are callbacks to some of the previous levels by ThatValvePersonMabrick. If you saw my Let's Play series earlier, you'll recognize several of these recreations. And I like how you can pick 3 out of 5 and then move on forwards, but if you want to go full completionist, you can go through all 5 segments, get the other special weapons, and get the super adapter. Now, for this entire Tower series as a whole, I think it's a pretty good Y for this level. It'd fit nicely in a actual Mega Man game or Mega Man fan game as a Fortress level. Nice challenge progression, nice reintroduction of gimmicks quickly, and then quickly transitioning over to the actual challenges, and none of the challenges felt unsurmountable. Outside of Level 2, all of the Fortress segments, maybe excluding 1 or 2 of them, are doable buster only. Level 2 is the exception because it focuses so heavily on usage of the jet adapter, but I'm okay with that because this is a Fortress level, and that utility automatically regenerates over time. And I liked level progression. We started at the entrance of the tower, we went into the computer mainframe, then up into the stratosphere with the observatory, and then finally went back down into the reactor, and then blew it up and escaped outside where we faced Metal Man, out in the sea. That was a wonderful conclusion, nice progression. So, I'd say I'd rate this entire fortress as a 7 or a 7.5, with all 4 levels combined together. Good work, Cynical AI and Mabrick. I enjoyed this experience. And thank you for sending me the musical mods and the graphical mods. They did add to the experience as well, though I wish there was more graphical touch-ups. Then again, that may not be possible with the repacking utilities. After all, there is a strict byte matching limitation, so that may have not been possible. I would have preferred if there was less blank black backgrounds, but it works out already. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more Veersmith levels. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Toodles!